Welcome back, Panther fans. My name is David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Who's muted.
And this is State of Atlanta.
There you go.
I kind of messed up the intro, but Tim messed it up worse this time.
Hello.
I heard you do it. Nobody was going to notice until you said it.
It was kind of weird, but yeah.
No, actually, the mess up was I had the wrong background. I think on the screen at first. I think I still did the wrong background.
My intro.
I thought it would automatically come off mute.
Unless you mute yourself.
Well, I muted it by accident when it muted me, so I did it again.
Well, this is our 104th episode, which I guess by some stretches would be 2 years, depending on how you do your counting of weeks and math and stuff like that.
In Georgia State years, it's like 5, right?
Well, I was going to say in 2 years, you should have figured out whether or not you come off of mute or not when we go into the intro.
Woo.
But that's just me talking smack. So, and to your question in the private chat, Ryan, no, I've given up on being nervous. I just want to know if you were coming or not. We were going to start with you or without you.
So I've been the one that's been right on the edge of on time.
I actually started getting ready like 5 minutes ago and was like, all right. So I got there, and then like maybe like 2 minutes into getting ready, I told Laurie, I was like, I'm gonna make David sweat today.
No, being in this unair conditioned basement in August in Georgia that's what makes me sweat. And then I have this stupid bright light shining on my face so that I can have a big shadow under my neck. I don't know why I do that. But
all right.
Yeah,
you're more upkept now for some reason. It's very weird.
I'm very what?
Kept up. You hair, beard. You look like you're coming out of something.
Oh, go on, Tim. Tell me more.
You're looking like a normal human being.
Yeah, I think I had this all shaved up last week.
You did.
Yeah.
It's just like it's flown over week to week now.
I don't. Yeah, my facial hair does not grow that fast. So that was a good 3 months of build up on top of what I already had. So
yeah. But
anywho, you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
United won. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the Falcons had a game that I drank a lot and didn't see any of while I was inside of the stands. So
they weren't really playing anyway. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah, Matt Ryan didn't even dress out for the game at all. So yeah, it was pointless.
I smoked pork butt and a pork loin and a brisket flat.
Excellent. I'm gonna want to hear how that pork loin came out, but
dude, it was killer. Just killer.
I told you.
Thank you. Yeah,
I told you.
It was a big hit, and that's what they were looking forward to the most. They actually had pulled pork from a barbecue place where I brought it, and they were looking forward to my leftovers the most because leftover pork loin on a sandwich is, mwah.
There you go. Exactly.
Smoked meats of Atlanta.
State of smoked meats. Yeah. So awesome. We actually had, we kind of had Georgia State sports last week since we last talked. We had a couple or 3 exhibition games by the men's and women's soccer team. And in that past week, we went 1-0-2.
Oh, that's okay. It's like exhibition games. That's, you're not trying to win. Hey, you're trying to see what your players can do.
We haven't lost a game in exhibition this year. That's nothing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The 0. Okay.
No, we won. We won one. We won one. We didn't lose any.
Well, so. I mean, you just see like even with the Falcons, you see the exhibition games and they lose by a lot, and it's just like who cares? Like that's not why they're playing.
Oh yeah, no, I had we have a house guest staying with us for an extended period you guys know about, and she was asking how the game went. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we got killed, but I was just drinking and socializing with friends. Everything. She looks at the score while she's talking. She's like, oh my god, you guys got your ass kicked. I'm like, it's preseason. It doesn't matter.
It's practice.
She's like, it matters a little bit. I'm like, no.
Not really.
I mean, it's the same thing as like a college spring game. You could say, wow, the blue team beat the white team or the white team beat the blue team, but it doesn't matter.
Practice.
How did our second string or lower tier guys do? Apparently not so hot. Okay.
I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. So
No.
I feel like it's preseason for fans and the whole tailgating and concession experience. So I need to figure out what my course of action is within the stadium and outside the stadium, what I've got to do, what things may have changed. So I'm in training. I'm in practice as well going to preseason. So what happens on the field, that's their game. But what happens in the stands and at the concessions, that's my game.
Well, on the field, what the coaches are doing is they're trying out different combinations and like seeing what'll work. And when something does work, they'll notch it down. This worked, and then they'll try something else that may not work. They don't just like keep doing the thing that's working because that's stupid. It's practice.
Well, that and also
figure out things.
And they're also not getting into like super detailed, complex plays because you're not going to share that on national TV. You're more or less trying to figure out, can Jimmy Joe actually run this route and catch the ball when he's supposed to, or whether or not he has no clue what's going on and he's getting cut.
There's any such thing as a secret play. I just don't believe in it. I don't think that's a thing.
You don't think there's a secret play?
No, I don't think anyone's like, oh, we can't play our real playbook because people will see it. Like you're going to do it every day. Like coaches have a preferred playbook, and if you've been coaching for long enough, people just know it. Like there's not some secret like here's what's in the playbook. So like we're gonna dominate you because we know your playbook. Like we know your playbook. Like
all right, Tim, I'm going to say something that's going to really shock you. So may want to mute yourself for the gasp of air coming out of her mouth. But Ryan, I completely disagree with you.
I thought you were going to agree.
And he's not going to agree.
No, I mean, obviously coaches, both in pro and in college, have secret plays.
Obvious.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a college ones because we're supposed to be talking about college sports.
Of the people here disagree with you, so I don't feel like you can say obvious.
Well, the Philly special when Philadelphia was playing in the Super Bowl, that was a trick play.
I believe people have trick plays. I don't believe that they're secret.
Okay.
Well, I mean, people can have trick plays. That's fine. And, like, you won't know what they called at the time that they called it, but you probably know it's in their playbook.
All right, Tim, you break the 30-30 split right now.
I'm going to say there are secret and or trick plays that teams have that they're specific plays for them.
There's always something that is run for the first time.
Yeah.
We had 3
timeouts, right? That's our secret trick play.
We're going to ice a kicker 3 times in a blizzard.
It just backfired completely, which is amazing.
It really just warmed them up.
Yeah, it pissed them off at least. We know that much. They went into the locker room really hot. So.
I know you have all you can eat or something, right? Like, is that all the food that's in that club area?
There's a specific lounge that we can get whatever we want, food or drink. So, but took advantage of that. Took advantage of that. It's worth the price of admission or not. But anyhow, we've got 18 days from Georgia State Army, and the closer we get, the further it feels away. I cannot wait to get out there. And I did find out that my tailgating will be non-existent for the game, guys.
What?
Wait, what?
I'm going to be at the Dragon Con parade at 10 a.m. and I'll be booking it. I won't even finish the parade. I'll have to leave like at 11.
Yeah, why go then?
Wife, kids. So I will be missing
the game.
So I'm going to need you guys to hold it down pretty hard for us and get the state of Atlanta flag flying.
I won't do it.
Damn.
I won't.
All right, Tim, I need you to do that with a trick play. A play that Ryan has never seen coming before.
And it weirdly proves my point because like you called it a secret play to my face just now. It's not no longer a secret play.
I will get a cardboard cutout of you, David, and I'll tailgate.
Dang you and your political insider knowledge, Ryan. You knew exactly what to say. There was a little information that came out over the weekend or since we last talked about parking and stuff. And I think that made a little bit of confusion for some people because apparently people at Georgia State don't know how to draw maps.
Maps are hard, man.
Yeah. So there's that gray lot they put over there to the west side of the stadium and right off of Pollard Avenue, Pollard Drive, Pollard, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And we're all like, that's a hill that leads up to I-75. And I thought it was a joke. There was a lot of jokes made about Georgia Southern parking there because, they're garbage.
It makes
But
sense, yeah.
I thought it was like App State parking. They were like, oh, you guys are used to parking on the hills. You can all park your little Wranglers or Ford Rangers or whatever you got on there. But, and I don't think anything has come out from this. Like I reached out to find out what's going on, and I haven't seen anything communicated out. But it's on the parking lot, the gray lot's on the other side of I-75. So they're missing an entire interstate on that map to show you where the parking lot is.
So big question there. Do we own that lot, or are we just using it?
It's where the fairgrounds are, or like where they do the fair, the downtown fair every year. So I would assume that's probably either private or City of Atlanta. I don't think we own that at all. She says when I talked to Georgia State, I was told that it's not a lot we've ever used before. So I feel like they really are expecting a lot more ticket sales this year if they're already looking at additional parking lots, or we have lost a lot of parking through a lot more development since last year. So maybe it's one of those two things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought was interesting was they're taking over Summerhill's free parking.
Interesting.
I'm not sure how that's going to work, because what about the people that want to go to Summerhill?
That's what I understand as well. Like all that lot right across from like Hero and Pete's, Brian.
Yeah.
That's now called Lot A, and it's ticketed or not ticketed, but permitted parking for Georgia State fans and everything. So
yeah,
I agree with Tim. I guess on one hand, Summerhill wants to be able to have a lot for people to come and patron their businesses, but then they also don't want people to go in there and park and just walk into the stadium and block everybody. So I guess by making it a ticketed lot, they get a little money out of it, and their patrons can figure out something else. I don't know.
I mean, it's not that bad. I don't think if that lot didn't exist, I mean, there'd be a little bit more people parked on our streets, but there's plenty of street parking available in Summerhill at this point.
Well, I got 2 parking passes, one in that Summerhill Lot A and one on Georgia Avenue, but I only own 1 car. So it's really likely that there'll be at least 1 spot open in Lot A for anybody that shows up.
And I have the Georgia Avenue one that I won't be using. So
Right. I'll just park. I'll be that guy that parks his car between 2 spots just to look like I don't want my Kia minivan with a dinged-in door to get hit.
And we can hang both the hang tags in it.
Exactly.
Yes, these are both my spot.
Just to give a security guard a condition fit, like you're not parked appropriately, but I see what you did here, but you can't do that.
Now, if they ever did get rid of tailgating on the bricks, we could still park on Georgia Avenue. That could be clutch for tailgating. Just saying.
Well, that first year what they wanted to do was close down Georgia Avenue and have that be food trucks and make a big party out of it. And they did do that, like the first game, maybe the second game, but there just wasn't that attendance there to drive it. I think that our attendance has gone up since those. Every year, pretty much our attendance has gone up. Maybe last year was a step back because the world sucked, but we just weren't there at that point to justify it. And I feel like most of our fans tend to come in last minute. Like they were like, all right, game starts at noon. We'll be there at 11:45.
Typical Atlanta fans, right? Though we all show up late to everything. I mean, even the United match on Sunday, it was people flowing in after kick.
I was at a bar.
United games, it's the same every Atlanta sport.
I was at a bar in outside of Grant Park or by Grant Park off of Memorial, and there was a bunch of people in United stuff all sitting there, like, watching the Braves game with me and everything. And I'm kind of paying attention. With the game, it was like at 4:00 or something was the United kick or whatever kickoff, whatever. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and they're closing their tabs out, but I'm like, you've got to get down to Mercedes-Benz Park or Uber, whatever you're doing, get through there, you're really cutting it close on time. And they were still just kind of hanging out, congregating for a while. So yes, to your point, Atlanta fans take their time.
And the A-hole being open, whew, it gets hot.
Spicy in there.
If you're in the A-hole's view, wow. Like, we avoided it all the way up until half, and then.
Well, because it moves. It's like it comes for you. It comes for you. Yeah.
Yeah. The supporter section or the end zone, the east end zone, I guess. That's brutal. I guess some of even the expensive seats, the club seats, get it eventually, right?
On the opposite side of the home side. So if there was such a thing, but anywho, I'm looking forward to getting out there to the stadium. But I will be a typical Atlanta fan and rolling in last minute. So I hope you guys have some drinks ready for me. Ryan already he's boycotting me completely. So Tim, have a drink ready for me. So
we'll shop in here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right.
Well, you'll be there for kick, right?
That's my intention. Granted, to be fair,
he's already hedging. He's already hedging.
No. This is basing off of history. How many kickoffs did we make? I guess I can't say last year because I think we did, but 2 years ago when it was a regular season, how many kickoffs did we miss?
That's because we were drunk in the parking lot, tailgating together.
Or did we caught the kickoffs as we're walking through the little club space, like looking through the suite window?
Because you weren't there yet. That was because we were too busy eating good food and drinking good drinks in the parking lot.
That's actually kind of winning in my book.
That's got well, Ryan, you were super late to the Trash Down South game last year, so give me this one game to be off on.
I don't remember that, but I trust you.
He was certainly avoiding COVID, so he's being very safe in how he entered the stadium super late to make sure he was by himself.
Why was that late?
I don't know, but that's the game where we'd kind of found our spot that season to sit those seats right next to the camera crew.
Yeah.
And I went down there to sit there again, and there was some Trash Down South sitting in our seats, and so I just sat on
that guy that you made friends with.
Yeah, quote unquote friends.
I remember that part, sort of vaguely.
Yeah,
he kept on rough games last year with that new beer that they had, the cheap beer, the Ruffles Flackler.
Yeah,
Nakaranzat.
Yeah, there wasn't there like a movie we saw, like a clip from a movie we saw recently where that beer was featured, like a Mighty Ducks movie or No Holds Barred or something like that.
Apparently, it's quite popular, in the Midwest, northern Midwest region. But it's a pretty good beer. It's all right,
Well, for being like the cheaper beer they have of just like a regular kind of lager pilsner or whatever it is, it gets the job done. Obviously,
yeah, I got like too drunk. For sure. Yeah, I mean it did its job plus. So
I can't say that I've ever had that, but hopefully they'll have something different this year.
Why? It's good. It's good beer.
It's adequate. It's adequate beer.
It was like $2 too, or something stupid.
Yeah, it was the cheapest option they had.
John that or something.
John says it was nasty.
No, he's lying. He didn't even drink any.
I wonder.
I bet he drinks IPAs.
Well, I drink IPAs, but it's
they're nasty. So
it's one of those things that once you get a few solid beer in you get that buzz going. You're like, all I need is just to maintain that buzz, and I'll drink whatever it is. If it's Listerine to get me going, I'll do it because I don't have a problem at all.
No. Well, I was with you, and then I found out there were actually limits. As you continued, I was like, yeah. Nope. You're wrong. No Listerine.
Gonna be like Tom Hanks from Family Ties, where he was like drinking the maraschino cherry juice because it had alcohol in it to get him.
You're going
buzzed
for like the hand sanitizer, right? Where it's really just tequila.
Hey, it's made in a distillery. It's got to be legit, right?
The stuff at the liquor store, my local liquor store, actually like makes me want to vomit the way because it smells like liquor, and it makes me sort of like a little like the way smelling liquor does.
Well, I mean, what kind of liquor are you smelling? Because yeah, sure, Jägermeister or Goldschlager would do that to me. But if you give me a bourbon, then I smell that. I'm like, that's delicious. I want to put this inside of me.
No, I want you inside of me.
I figure, Anyway, I figure we should be able to figure out some way to get Halfway Crooks in the stadium. Better beer-ish.
I was at, where was I at? I was at a bar on Friday. Brick Store has Halfway Crooks on tap. They have their own specific beer that Halfway Crooks makes just for them at Brick Store. So it's a Kolsch. Not bad either. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so they are no longer, because when they came out, they were like, we're only going to distribute. We're not going to distribute. We're only going to be sold here.
That was their shtick. That was their thing. Is they were going to be like
thing anymore.
They were the first brewery that was going to open up with no distribution.
Apparently
I was talking to the Brick Store guys, and they said they've opened up to limited distribution. That Brick Store actually reached out them to directly for this Kolsch beer. But
that makes sense. I wonder if they have an exception or something. If they have to go through some of the Georgia distributors, or if they're just like delivering a couple kegs.
I don't know. I think they're at Little Bear too. Like you can drink Halfway Crooks there. So
well, that's like right across the street, though, right? They could just be buying 6-packs.
No, they can't.
Sounds illegal.
I know. I know friends who have other friends, and those friends own the bar next to Creature Comforts in Athens. Mm-hmm. And they sell all of Creature Comforts beer because Athens and next door to it. Right. But Creature Comforts has to ship their beer to Atlanta to a distributor, and then that distributor drives the beer back up to their bar.
This is this is why I'm politically motivated.
Anyhow, let's get back to
politically motivate better beer in our stadium.
I could try, man.
Or swap out Sweetwater, but can we just get like Monday Night or some other brewery in Atlanta to be the supplier of craft beer in our stadium?
I'm on it, man.
Any of them.
I'm on it.
Use your powers.
It'll be my when I announce a run for something, I will that'll be my number one platform plank is I want better beer at the Georgia State games, and I can make that because we should actually just add it to Georgia Code because it's a public institution. They should follow my rules.
Absolutely. And when you get this accomplished, I will get the GoFundMe started to get a statue of you out front of Center Park Stadium.
A GoFundMe?
Yes,
I know. I broke my own rule.
But it was for me, so I feel it's even more. It's more impressive. I feel good. Thanks, man.
I saw that John Weaver said the pandemic made him switch to Miller Lite. Interesting comment from John.
Gross.
I drink.
I feel like that would make you go the opposite direction.
I drink Miller Lite.
Oh no, I'm like sick of PBR at this point, but the pandemic, I'm still drinking it.
Pandemic
Wait,
BR.
you're sick of PBR?
Huh?
You're sick of PBR?
I've been drinking a lot of PBR.
Where's the breaking news intro there? Come on.
He's said it a couple of times on here already. But speaking of some breaking news, it's not breaking news. It was out earlier today. To get back a little on topic here, there was a schedule announcement today that we rescheduled the Racers of Murray State from what was missed out last year to be on our championship run 2025 season schedule. So
I'm so excited.
I remember like making bets on whether we play that game or not.
And I was all in. I thought it was happening. I think I was more or less wanting it to happen because, last year is when the first year that we did, our second year of doing the podcast, but we actually had people on from the other fan bases to talk about their teams. And so Murray State was going to be our first game. And I had the beat writer for Murray State lined up, and he was all pumped up to come on and talk about Murray State and playing and everything. And I think he's a little bummed out when that game got canceled. I was bummed out when the game got canceled, but he was like, man, I hope this game gets rescheduled. I want to come on and talk to you guys. So if he's still writing the beat for the Racers in 2025, we'll get him on. I was looking forward to it.
Sweet. Cool.
Well, it's only a few years away.
These games get scheduled so far out, and then all of a sudden they're here. So I feel like it happens so fast. But I was looking at our 2025 schedule for that championship season. As of right now, we've got Memphis in week 2, Murray State week 3, and then we're at Vanderbilt week 4, which means our opening game is undecided. Murray State has that week 1 opening as well. We did not schedule the FCS team for week 1. So do we already have something in the works for week 1 maybe, or why would we not put the FCS team in week 1? What do you guys think?
I don't think too much about it.
We're going to use them as the tune-up game for Georgia Southern.
No, they're the game before Vanderbilt.
Tune-up game before Vanderbilt, wait, different offense.
No, I guess my question is
option. They were like famously run and gun.
No, I just find it interesting because typically we've opened up outside of this year and at Tennessee, we've always opened up with an FCS opponent for the most part. So it's kind of strange that we do get this game scheduled 4 years in advance, and we move them to week 2 or week 2 instead of week 1. I don't know. I'm just wondering if something else is in the works, and you guys don't care. You guys don't care enough about schedules that are 4 years in advance for this to be an interesting conversation. But
here is the thing, though, David, is I think that we represent most people in this instance, and that like a lot of people don't care about scheduling 4 years in advance.
That's not true. David came up to us at the open practice, and he said he loves what we're doing because we talk about future schedules, and you kind of like just rolled your eyes so hard that I think the beer fell out of your hand.
I don't know if I had a beer at that point.
You didn't, but I was trying to think of something to finish my statement that I already started. So I decided to roll the most common thing to me, which would be a
beer in my hand. There was a beer in my hand like not 5 minutes later, but
so
wait, I want to know this story.
Yeah.
John Weaver asking, wasn't Murray State the team whose coach at the time, Chris Hatcher, peed on the field in the dome?
Look, man, I think you got to go.
It's faster to go on the wall or the artificial turf than it is to find a restroom.
I don't do that. I don't know that. I don't know that story at all.
I
don't know
really
that story at all either.
It's like you can't just like leave and go pee though. So if you got to, I mean, like I know how short my bladder is, and like I can't imagine being on the field that whole time and not peeing.
There's all kinds of stories about coaches or players that have had to like find a way to take care of themselves on the field during a game, but I think that any fan base is allowed to be super critical of that and say they're showing a sign of disrespect or something. I don't know, but I didn't expect to go. So I had some questions about this week 1 thing, but you guys are totally not into this. So I'm gonna go with
Go for it, David. Go for it. Somebody's gonna care.
My conspiracy theory number 1 about why Murray State was not scheduled in week 1.
Okay.
We're going to do a bye week 1, because I fully believe that athletics listens to this podcast and bases all their decisions on what we say. And they know that I hate the week 1 game getting in the way of my Dragon Con experience.
Okay.
All right. What's your next conspiracy theory?
Let's keep moving. What's your next conspiracy theory?
So we have an opening with the schedule as it is now. We have an opening for an away game in 2025. We also have an opening for an away game in 2026, and we've got 2027. Got a couple of games open. That we have a 2-for-1 with a P5 program that we are going to play 2 times in a row at their place, and they're going to come in to Center Park Stadium in 2027. Is this an
unannounced one, or are you referring to something?
No, I don't know. I'm thinking the only reason I can think we would not put Murray State as week 1 is because we already have something in the works for week 1.
Well, so that's probably true.
2 questions for you. 1, is there a website that tells you what FBS teams have openings that year? And 2, why have you done this research on your own?
There is a website.
Pure schedule research. You love it.
There is a website that is run by a former Georgia State alum, fbschedules.com, that has all of this information on it. And actually, my fearful thing was if we have no week 1 opponent going into conference scheduling or whatever, that they're going to put a conference game as week 1, and that it would be the Trash Down South. But I checked; they already have their week 1 opponent scheduled that season, so we will not open the season at home, away to the Trash Down South.
That would be a rough way to open the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, John also agrees opening with the televised conference game. So that's one thought. And then another thought is, what if we do 7 home games? What if we actually pick up another one? Like, why travel to a game if we can get another ticket in there?
I don't know if that's as easy as you think. You probably have to end up paying somebody for that game then.
Maybe so, but it depends on what the openings are with other teams. I'm just kind of curious. How cool? What would you think about getting a? What would you guys think about getting a 7th home game? Another chance to tailgate here.
Personally,
guys,
who wouldn't want to have tailgates?
Personally, I'm into it. I mean, for me, but I would really want to see how that balances out as far as budget goes with the program, because I mean, it's really hard to get extra games. That's why like Alabama pays us, is because it's really hard for them to get 6 home games on their schedule.
I figured it out, David.
No,
by the way.
Okay, Tim, let me know what it is before I tell Ryan why he's wrong or why he's making stupid comments.
It's going to be UCF 2025. They were national champions. We will be national champions. 2025, book it. They have an opening.
And that'll be a conference game at that point. So we're all right.
Oh, that's all. No, that's not right at all.
Yes, John, 2025. I guess that would right. That would be a super. He can't make it that. He can't make it that long, right?
No, he'll get drafted before that.
But he'd be able to know because he already played a couple of games before. Could Quad still be the quarterback in 2025?
I don't know, man. I'm not here to do math.
Can you get 6 years out of this deal? Man, COVID, thank you.
So why am I wrong, David? I'm on the edge of my seat over here.
Oh, I forgot what you said.
He wants to know why he's wrong.
I heard that part. I forgot what he said. But I was going to tell him why he was wrong.
That was funny.
You're just wrong.
Talking about paid games and Alabama paying teams like us.
Every single team in the world wants to go play at Alabama just for the exposure. There's no way it's hard for Alabama to
Alabama. I just use them as an example, David.
Plus, Alabama only has to fill 2 home slots, or actually 1 home slot every year. Don't they do the neutral game and then have one away game and then 2 home games or something like that?
People don't like them playing cupcakes, which we are unfortunately considered that to most of America. And the reason that they do it is because they have to fill in a certain number of home games to make their season ticket holders happy.
Yeah, and I think that they play 7 home games, a neutral game, or maybe 8 home games, a neutral game, and an away game, right?
It's probably 7 home games.
Plus their
7
conference.
home games is to pay somebody who's not as good as you to come and not do a 2-for-1.
That goes back to my 2-and-1 or 1-and-1 or 2-and-1 idea that I had. I don't know. You now have a lot of opinion on what I had to say when you were just silent when I first brought it up.
I wasn't paying attention.
I willed you into this. All right, whatever. You guys suck. All right.
No, I don't. Tim might.
I don't know about that.
He's not defending himself, so
Miami's going to come and play. They have an opening.
Miami.
Oh God, we're gonna lose. If Ryan's
at home.
If Ryan's playing for us, we're gonna lose.
What?
Ryan's.
I mean, honestly, come on, seriously. If Ryan's on the roster, we're losing that game, right? Like if we've dipped so far down. I mean,
but I don't know why it has to be said.
I'll include myself on that. If anybody that's in my phone. My phone contacts list is playing for Georgia State, we're losing that game if they've dipped that low.
So I'm the quarterback, you're the running back, and Tim is my wide receiver.
Yeah, running back. The running back that has got a metal knee. That's going to work out really well.
So maybe you're quarterback then. I'll be running back.
Oh my God!
Catch me up real quick. Why is Ryan playing in the football game ever?
Didn't you say it? Didn't you say that Ryan said it? I thought I heard somebody else say it.
You said something about if Ryan's on the roster. I don't know why you
Ryan on the roster.
I thought okay.
What parallel universe are we in right now?
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this episode because I definitely heard someone else, Tim, say it's about Ryan being on the team or being on the field.
Have you been drinking since yesterday, nonstop?
How about some Oklahoma State? They have an opening.
Will they be a team by then? I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what conference they'll be in by then.
I don't know.
Who knows what college football is going to look like come 2025?
Yeah. Is it on your list to talk about the scheduling alliance?
I actually didn't do a lot of looking into that because it wasn't really Sunbelt specific.
Yeah.
It was more
But
like an FU to the SEC. That's about it.
I feel like it's a big FU. So for everyone who doesn't know, there was like a scheduling alliance that was talked about with the Big Ten, Pac-12, and who?
ACC.
And the ACC. I thought it was a big FU to the Big 12.
Absolutely. It's the first time we've seen something that identifies a Power 4 instead of a Power 5.
Basically, they were like, "Oh, let's team up against the SEC, but also let's leave out this little guy over here."
Yeah, I guess the one takeaway I got from that was if there is a scheduling alliance between those three conferences, and then you get the SEC being what they are, that really looks like the G5 that they talk about this like split
It's
in
like
college football.
It's a new split, yeah.
Yeah, so if you start getting a scheduling alliance, then what does that mean for the G5? And a lot of people talk about it means teams are dropping down to FCS or whatever, but I feel like it becomes like a middle ground, or almost like the Division 1A or FBS football becomes G5 football. You have FCS as FCS, and then you just got the Power 4 are just their own thing, and it's effectively not even college football anymore. It's just minor league football, branded by college universities.
Zaxby's.
So it'd be like Tim's favorite sport, soccer, where really it's a professional team and they just put a sponsor team on the front of their jerseys, and it's
they
like
don't even put their team name on it. It's just like Mountain Dew.
No, it'd be Alabama is the sponsor of this, minor league team or this semi-pro team or whatever it would be. I don't know. So anyhow, I don't know a lot about the scheduling alliance, but I am not a fan of that, I guess.
It just depends on what it actually means. I mean, there's not a lot. I didn't see a lot of details around it other than like these three conferences are in discussions to somehow hold hands while the SEC dominates them.
One article I did read about it was that's all cute and all until the SEC and ESPN throw a boatload of cash to Ohio State and Clemson and Florida State and whoever, USC, to just jump ship and join whatever the hell it is that ESPN and SEC are creating out of the SEC.
So the SEC basically just turns into the new like echelon of sport.
Yeah, the ESPN Football League, because everyone's saying is like saying that this is just basically ESPN is the one that's pulling the strings behind the whole deal.
Oh, sure.
Although I do think that, and this has been some rumored or some speculation as well, that it's possible all this happens and it looks like it's horrible for all the G5 programs, and then it just implodes because it's not what fans want, and they start losing interest in this or that, and they want to see other programs being able to get in there or whatever happens.
I hope so.
USC doesn't like being the only team on the Pacific Coast time and playing an East Coast time schedule. And
I mean, I think the chances that the SEC throws money at somebody like Ohio State and USC and whatever, like I don't believe that that's going to happen. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because I think regional rivalries and regional games make a lot of sense, just in terms of like you were saying, fan interest and stuff. So I don't think it ends up happening. And ESPN is smart enough to know that like that matters.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at the past realignment, there's something I had to talk about a little bit later on, which we've already gone pretty long because we talked about what the hell we talked about dumb stuff earlier.
All kinds of shit, yeah.
Was like the way that realignment was approached last time is. The articles I was taking a look at were saying like how the Conference USA went for markets, looking for those big media markets, because that'll draw the eyeballs that will get the ESPN dollars and everything. But then Sun Belt went for what they call fan bases. They went for the schools that have a rabid fan base, because they know that rabid fans will watch their team no matter which conference they're in or who they're playing. And which one was a better ideal for all that? I forget how that came up, but that was something that I read about.
Yeah, I don't know what it means. Like, I think you have to have both things. And it's not about having a rabid fan base, because we all know, like in Atlanta, we would have a more rabid fan base if we just like won more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
trying.
It's really
We're on
about
that
that.
path.
Well, this year is going to be that year, I believe. I definitely believe that Georgia State has their best year of football ever, which is a very low bar to set, but or to achieve over. We all know that.
Yeah,
But I think
I'm scared of the strength of schedule.
This is
I
hard.
am.
It's gonna be a
We'll
hard
know.
year.
Yeah.
I think that we'll know everything we need to know about this team after week 5.
Oh,
Maybe you could say week 6, I guess, but week 5, because that means we have our 4 games of out of conference schedule. We'll play to UNC, we'll play to Auburn, we'll play to Army and Charlotte, but then we come home to App State immediately following Auburn, and you'll have a good idea. We're playing one of the better teams in the Sun Belt Conference since we joined, and we'll have already played a full out of conference schedule. I think we'll know a lot about what we're doing. Then we have is it Monroe next, and then then Monroe? I forget what it is. I think that will say a lot about. We'll know what we are 5 or 6 weeks into the season, which halfway through the season we should know. Yeah,
I wasn't gonna call you out on it, David.
Yeah. Well, by the end of the season, we'll know what kind of team we're looking at.
We'll take a load off after our gauntlet of our first 4 games was at.
Before we enter that murderer's row of November, we'll know what we're working with. So.
Yeah. Fair
I'll
enough.
keep on pushing it back. Talking about what we're working with. So every week I feel like there's a different type of ranking or projection or preseason poll or something like that we get to talk about. And every time we talk about it, I feel like it comes out the exact same way. ESPN had their updated SP Plus rankings that came out while we were over the past week. And it's pretty much what we've seen before. You've got Lafayette, Appy State, and Coastal top 3, and then it's Troy and Georgia State, which it's always like flip-flopped. It's Troy and Georgia State, Troy, whatever, and then it's trash down south and the rest of the West Division. But I do find it interesting how like the rest of the West Division, like it's always the bottom. Like there's no with Troy and us, it's always flip-flop, but then that West Division, they just know that there's nobody in there worth talking about besides Lafayette. I don't know. One thing that was kind of cool about it was we came in 79th out of 130 teams. Last year when they did this, we were 88, so we are trending upward.
Top 80.
Yeah, 79 is not bad for that kind of thing. As far as like where we normally are and where other Sun Belt teams usually are.
It looks like they kind of broke into like 3 little chunks of the thing, because Lafayette was 30, Appy State was 36, and Coastal Carolina was 37. So they're 3 really close to each other. Troy was 65, Georgia State was 79, pretty close. And then trash down south and the rest guys are all 92 and above. Like it really kind of broke out into like 3 little segments. But for whatever that means. And Monroe did not come in last place. They were 123. There were 7 schools worse than them.
Wow.
There's a lot of love for Troy happening. I'm not really sure I'm seeing it. I don't know.
I feel like Troy has a little bit more of a history, and people remember Troy State when they were, pretty good or whatever. But I don't know. I'm biased, but I feel like Georgia State's definitely a better team than Troy is this year. I want to call them Troy State again. Maybe I should keep on calling them Troy State. I'm trying to find a way of being degrading to every single team in our conference. Maybe calling them Troy State would be a good way to keep that going. Yeah.
I did did you watch the stadium review video thing that was posted up to PantherTalk?
Oh yeah, the Australian guy that reviews all Sunbelt or all stadiums. Yeah. So
I didn't watch all of it, but I made it through and I saw the Raging Cajuns, and he called it. It sounds like a chicken sandwich. I was like, that's pretty good.
I know. I would totally eat a sandwich called a Raging Cajun sandwich. That sounds delicious.
Raging Cajun chicken sandwiches.
Because we've all agreed that the best part of New Orleans is the food, but you can get the food anywhere. So, yeah.
What is the kickin' chicken at what you call it?
Zaxby's?
No,
Republic. Republic.
Yeah, Republic's got a really good buffalo chicken sandwich, and it's called the Kickin' Chicken, and it's good.
That's the actual bar I was at when I was watching the United fans hang out on their way to. One interesting thing about the SP Plus rankings was Sunbelt came in as the second best conference in AAC, or sorry, in AAC, second best conference in in the G5 conferences. So
cool.
I can believe it.
Yeah, whatever. Run through the last guy. Run through the last.
It's our fault.
I don't like this conference. I hate this. You're getting me excited. I hate this conference. I don't
love the thing you hate, David. Love the thing you hate.
I know I'm supposed to be better about this, but I mean, I guess in college football, you really want your conference to do well to make you look good. Like that doesn't translate into the NFL. Like if the NFC South is dominating, but you're the last place team in that division, you suck. Like because best case scenario is 3 teams from your division make it to the playoffs, and then there's always that one team that's left off that doesn't make it. But in college football, it's way different. Like these are my peers. These are where I play with every single season. If they're doing well, if we're battling back and forth, then it makes us look good. But I just don't care about these teams in our conference. I don't at all. So, and I know that there are some of our conference mates that listen to this, and I just want to reiterate, I don't care about your teams at all.
Hence why you have offensive names for all the teams.
Yeah, but he also, I mean, like, obviously hung up on Coastal Carolina. Obviously,
you say that. You say that I'm hung up on Coastal Carolina. I'm not hung up. I just think last season was a fluke.
Yeah, I know. I know what you think. Don't worry. You say it all the time because you're a little hung up on them.
I really am not.
A little bit in love. A little bit.
It's all right.
If I'm hung up on any school in conference, it'd be Lafayette, I think.
Yeah. I
don't
so,
like.
Dude. No, but I actually legit think that they're a rival at this point. So that's,
I don't.
In agreement with you.
I don't like hate. I'm not a fan of hate. It sounds like so stupid to say, but I don't like hating things. But there are some things that I hate that are in the exact same state that Lafayette is in.
Yeah.
And so it's just really easy to hate them too. And then when you factor in our record against them, and then the basketball stuff.
The basketball stuff really is what drove it.
Yeah. And then those little those jerky boys at Ragin' Review, those guys. It's always easy to hate on those guys.
I don't know what they do.
They talk about the Lafayette every single week.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That feels like a little bit of a circular argument.
Maybe so.
I'll take it. This is sports talk, man. You say whatever you want.
The other thing the Australian guys said about their stadium is that it's below sea level, so it's technically
everything in Louisiana is below sea level. These guys, I don't know if La Tech probably does, but if La Tech or LSU or Lafayette, if any of those schools in Louisiana have an engineering or architectural program, never hire anybody from any of those schools because they build all their crap underwater. It's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Tim, what did you say? If it's below, it's technically what? I didn't hear you because David started yelling.
It's a swamp, is what he said. It would be a swamp if it floods, essentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is a swamp.
You should watch this weird Australian video. It's interesting. He
kind
of likes our stadium.
He calls our stadium a Frankenstein stadium, which at the time I was really offended, and I thought about it for 3.5 seconds, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah, this is legit.
It kind of is.
Well, it's been torn up and repurposed 3 times, twice into 3 configurations.
It is.
Because it was Olympics, then it was Braves, then now it's a football field. It's been 3 different iterations of the same space of different things.
Yeah, and I get where he's coming from. Yes, obviously with those old right field stands still standing, yeah, it does look a little awkward because you're like, why do they have seats that aren't really accessible seats for this stadium? I get it. That part does look like something that's a little abnormal. But if you just take it for what it is at face value, we all know it's a fantastic stadium. It's a great place to watch college football. It's got uniqueness to it. And eventually, at some point, we'll do something with those right field stands. But until then, Until then, maybe it's not the sexiest stadium in the conference, but it's the best.
You know, what's funny is I don't think I'm actually thinking about it. I don't think I've been to any other conference stadiums. I don't think I have. And, but I have no doubt in my mind that we have the best.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, there's actually no way that the professional stadium that we moved into isn't better than all of the, Sun Belt football stadiums that exist.
And then you include all the different concession option type things in the concourse area, all the space we have. That's one of the things I liked about Turner Field more than what Truist Park is that those concourses are ginormous because that was built to be an Olympic stadium with 100,000 people walking around in there. Right. So they need to have wide concourses. You go to Truist Park and those are tiny, tiny, tiny concourses. We get the benefit of all that. And then all the spaces in there for whatever we want to do, be it retail or concessions or just entertainment space or something like that. We have the best, canvas for a stadium, even outside of what you see just looking at the game itself. It's by far the best stadium in conference. Also, I have never seen another conference stadium because why would I go to any of these places that are in our conference?
I wasn't wrong, right? I've not been, because I feel like I would have gone with you at some point, David, but I feel like I've never been to an in-conference stadium.
Which conference mates would you guys go? All right, so Tim, you've been to Troy, right? Or you've been to Trash Down South is where you went. I know that. I did. You were there. You were there for 34/7.
Yeah, I was there for 34/7. I sat in the upper deck. It's a pretty stadium. Also, I agree with the author of the Australian video guy. There's a lot of other stadiums that look just like it, is what he said. And I agree. It's okay. I mean, it's, they built that upper deck on top of some lower deck built into the earth, and it works. It's nothing fancy.
Isn't it just like a nice high school stadium, though?
You could call it that, yeah.
Think Milton, Yeah.
It's the prettiest thing in Statesboro other than beautiful Eagle Creek. I'm including the women. I'm including the women in Statesboro in that as well. You got whatever they call. What is it called? What Statesboro? What do they call it? Georgia Southern? I have no idea what it's even called. Paulson. Yeah. I unfortunately do know that. Paulson Stadium South. Whatever. You see. So the prettiest things in Statesboro are Paulson Stadium, Eagle Creek, and then the co-eds at Georgia Southern. In that order.
Yeah.
And then the menu at Applebee's. Then the menu at Applebee's is the next one. So,
I mean, I don't know. I do want to actually get to another away stadium just to compare. Like, here's a second conference mate stadium. Now I have 2 under my belt compared to ours. I mean, listen, we're in a professional Olympic / MLB / now college stadium. It's top 10 easily in the G5. There's no question about it.
So easily, I go to our away games. I just have never been to one of our in-conference away games.
So all those FCS games got your heart, huh?
So that was my question going to be to you guys. If you were to go to an away game, a conference away game, which is one, and I don't mean like just by proximity, like obviously going to the Trash Down South or Troy is convenient. If you were to go to an away game just to go to see like a stadium or just to go enjoy the experience, which one would you be compelled to go to? Because I would have a hard time answering this question.
Mine's easy. What's yours, Tim?
App. I'm done.
Okay, yeah. So app is a very close second for me. Ooh. But my very easy answer is Lafayette, and it is because the tailgating atmosphere. I would love. I just really want to go. Like, I hear the food is really good. I love that kind of food. It's like home cooking and not restaurants and stuff. And like, I just think that would be a blast to go to Lafayette.
John agrees with you, Tim. He says the app is the answer, but he also points out that South Alabama has a new stadium down there, Mobile. So yeah.
App's my number 2. I really want to go. It's the Rock, right? Is what they call it, and it's like supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, and Boone is supposed to be kind of a cool little town to go hang out in, and it's up there on my list too. I would love to go to Boone.
So long as it's not snowing, I really have no interest in going there when it's pouring down snow outside. Mid-October, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind going to San Marcos.
Where's that?
You
Texas
love
State.
Texas State. And you love.
I knew. So I knew if I said that, Tim, you would say that. But no, I feel like that's the only one that I don't know, kind of stands out to me. A Texas college town that should be cool. They have a river that runs.
They have a river too.
The little floaty river, which is a river. It looks cool, like the way they've got like that landing set up where like you just go party in the river. Like I know it's for students or whatever, but like I'd be that old dude creeping in there.
You can get a grad. You can enroll for a grad program, Ryan.
That's right.
So you can go party in that river, unlike Eagle Creek, and not come out with like disease.
Yeah, I think that'd be rad. I think that would be fun. But it's not high on my list.
I was listening to the Fun Belt podcast, and they were trying to say,
"Oh, was it fun? Was it super exciting?"
It was very belty. It was very belty. Fun Belch. Is that a funny thing to make fun of the conference? Fun Belch. I don't know. Anyhow, there was one of the guys on there. This is an episode that Ben was not on. Was saying there should be a rivalry between Texas State and Georgia Southern because of the San Marcos River versus beautiful Eagle Creek. Like the Texas State
rivalry.
That Texas State should be upset that Georgia Southern finds their retention pond so beautiful when Texas State actually has a very nice, elegant little river running through their entire campus and everything. I thought it was pretty amusing.
Do they post the Southern Post when they show Eagle Creek baptisms happening? Yeah,
it was last week. I think it was actually before last week's episode that we recorded. They had their traditional, all their players standing in the retention pond, wading through needles and feces and potentially dead bodies.
Can we tweet at the CDC, like retweet that post and say, CDC, you should check the water quality and all the risks they're taking by
No, let them get their dysentery and die on Oregon Trail like everybody else did back in the 80s. I'm fine with that.
All right.
So, hey, we're approaching an hour, guys. Do you want to?
Back to the good old days.
Yeah, I'll run through a couple of things real quick, and then we'll get on to the last call and talk about whatever else I had. I want to acknowledge. So, yeah, we talked about it earlier. Men's and women's soccer started the season off this week. The men played Clayton State in a tie 0-0. Women did Stetson winning 2-1. First game in the soccer complex was a win, exhibition, but a win nonetheless. And they were at Jacksonville State. They tied that 0-0. The men will host Clayton State. Sorry. That was with the last week. They will play at Presbyterian College on Wednesday, and then they host Clemson in their final exhibition game this Saturday on ESPN Plus at 7 p.m. Be kind of cool. And the women are playing Mercer Thursday, and that'll be the real first game in the soccer complex, also on ESPN Plus, and then at Chattanooga on Sunday. And then volleyball starts. Volleyball this Friday, playing at Chattanooga, so get some more sports going on there. And yeah. And that's our other sports. So you guys got anything else?
No.
Last call?
Yeah, we'll head on to last call. Before we talk about that, we will talk about
Is there a bus?
Our bus. Yes, we're heading to the Auburn game on a bus. You can get your tickets at auburn.cityofAtlanta.com. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big, huge bus. Booze provided by Dry County Brewing and Max Wine and Beer. We also have restrooms and barf bags because I know us. Exactly. We got to look at Ryan's face. We all need a barf bag. Go to auburn.cityofAtlanta.com to get your tickets and come join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And then also, speaking of volleyball, if you want to get free shipping at our merch store, merch.cityofAtlanta.com, code volleyball, because that starts up for realsies this Friday. Shout out to them. And finally, we're heading to last call. You can get it on our Patreon page, free to everybody on Friday, patreon.com/State of Atlanta. I like how I do this part at the end, and Ryan and Tim just kind of look like I'm just waiting to pee right now. Just how soon can we get out of here? I guess I should pre-record this part, right?
I don't know, man. I'm still just upset you said people are going to need to vomit when they look at my face.
I was about to say no pushback from Ryan. Wow.
You can check it out. Check out our last call on patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Free on Fridays. To our Patreon members, $3 a month. You get that immediately, as well as private group chat, discounts on our merchandise, discounts on the bus trip, $10 off the bus trip if you're a Patreon member. So consider doing that. And I think that's all I got, guys. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.